Well, hello everybody again. We have got another treat today with Tim Reese, owner of PeeWee's in Crescent Springs, with us to talk about a lot of different stuff. And with Pee-wee, we could probably sit here for a couple of hours, and he could fill us in on the stories of business ownership. But Pee-wee, thanks for spending a few minutes with us today, and especially with COVID, and you're all dealing with the effects of this. I just want to really let you fill us in. So let's go to the beginning of this. So when you started being immediately impacted by having to shut down your operation, can you walk us through kind of that process and what was going through your head and employees' heads, and that what was it like to have to go in that to start that process?
Well, thank you, sir. First of all, I want to thank you for having this. As I've watched these shows on the computer, very, very, very educational. Everybody in their own way is affected by this. Here at PeeWee's, our biggest was concern is our employees. We never have enough. The ones that we have been with us a long time, and they're very, very good. But we got to make sure that they were protected financially and along with the virus. So we had to make a bunch of different steps. In the restaurant business, one of the biggest keys is what goes to waste. And it's a tough enough thing to do when you think you know what you're going to do Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends. And now with this pandemic going, one day you might be packed, the next day nothing. And so we did try to keep our full menu the entire time. We kept every single person employed with the exception of one who had some schoolwork to do. And hopefully everybody sees the improvements. I think we've painted some things 2 or 3 times because my wife changed colors. But now if you look at them in their Pee-wee shirts, some of them got a light gray on them, some got a dark gray, some got a medium gray, and we can't wait to get back to what the norm's going to be. But as you know, and I know, we don't know what the norm's going to be, and the new's going to be a new norm.
Well, you jumped right in, right? I mean, you transitioned right away to more and more carry out and ready for people to call in, and you had to think through all that process of when the volume of work was going to be there for you, I guess. But you've been able to keep people busy or keep people employed, and then thank God everybody's been safe and did your renovation work. You've been able to do that. What kind of impact have you seen? As a restaurant and a bar, there's the income levels because of alcohol, and that's a huge part of your business. But you've had to handle that as well.
Yeah, that was a big plus that we were allowed to do, take out alcohol after a while. It's not like we're selling a case of beer, but, if people wanted to come up and get 2 beers, we actually had a special that we called it the Big 12. You got a double deck burger, fries, and 2 bottles of beer. It's a special. All in all, it worked out pretty good for us. This building, as you know, this is an old building. So we had to make do with what we have. We don't have a drive-through window. So, a bunch of orange cones and direct them to the rear parking lot and have them call and have us go out and see if they were doing credit card or cash and come back in, then go back out and put a mask on, put a new set of gloves on, decontaminate the computers. Everything was a learning curve. And let me tell you, once again, because we've got the majority of servers that are ladies, they care. They figured out what was the best method to do, and what worked Monday might not work Tuesday. So even though we've been going, I don't know, 9 or 10 weeks through this, by the time we get it perfected, we're allowed to open back up.
Well, that goes right into the lead. So you've now got an opportunity to operate at lower capacity starting the end of this week, I guess. You're trying to transition there to welcome everybody back, but what's going through your mind? I mean, you don't need a line of people outside, but you've also got limitations on how you can do. So walk us through that process. How you handling that?
Well, that was a very difficult task. As you know, restaurants are allowed to open Friday. We've chose to make it Saturday, only for one reason. Friday, we're going to practice. So we're bringing a couple customers in. We're allowing them to come in. We'll have you've been here before, but we don't seat people. We don't have a hostess. We don't have a greeter, but now we will. So we'll have somebody as you enter the rear door only. You'll come in. You'll get your temperature checked. You'll have a mask on, and you'll be directed to your seat. And once you're at your seat, and you've got a chair, then you can take your mask off, but not before that, because we think that the majority of our customers are somewhere on an average of over 70. So what we need to do is protect everyone, and we're going to do everything we can do. My parents are here daily at age, they're over 70, and we are going to protect everybody like we tried to do with our parents. But 33% occupancy is not something we choose. It's what we are handed. And boy, the restaurant looks empty. But thank God for us, we've got a covered deck, we've got a deck, and then we've got a paver area. This is very large. So you look at the weather forecast, yesterday, today, tomorrow, all the way up to Thursday, we're calling for a good bit of rain. We're supposed to have this soft opening on Friday, and Friday's supposed to be great weather. So hopefully the sunshine in Friday, we get the ability to practice with our new computer system, with our new menu, with our new paint, with our new table layout, and hopefully everybody's patient. The beer will be cold, the fries will be warm, but they might not be as quick as normal, but we'll get through it and we'll learn a lot. And then we're actually going to be open to the general public on Saturday. Then we are going to go ahead and shut down on Sunday and Monday and figure out what we did right, what we did wrong. And then when Tuesday gets here and we reopen for good, we should have a great handle on it.
Well, and I tell you what, you have a way of making lemonade out of lemons. And one of the things that you've been doing since, I think, well before COVID, but you've been providing on a volunteer basis and some paid basis, but food for the homeless in the community. I know you've coordinated that for, many, if not years. It's been a long time. Maybe talk about that success. It's something else the community should be real proud of, that working with you to provide for the needy. It's pretty amazing. Tell us about that.
First of all, I'd like to give hats off how you and Garen Colvin have worked with Kim Webb at the shelter, and just made everybody realize that everybody's important, not just certain people. So when we get the opportunity to take our men's prayer group from St. Joe's and have the availability, what we've been doing for years is every Monday we would prepare a meal here, have a couple guys pick it up, take it down to the shelter, and talk to people. They've just had a little harder times than what we've had. As you know, if you were born in Northern Kentucky, you were pretty daggone blessed, and some of these people are not as blessed as us. So we take it down there, we sit with them, we talk to them, we try to be a model in their life of what can help them. And now all of a sudden the pandemic hits. So as you know, down there, they don't have social distancing. So they take them out of there, they put them in the convention center. From there, they moved them to a hotel. So all of a sudden they're at a hotel for 40 days. They went from homeless to a hotel, which is just beautiful. We were asked to serve them dinner for that period of time. So it was really neat that I had the availability to find some other people to step up. We had Nick Ellison come in from Jeff Ruby's. We had Danny Payton, who was a college football friend of mine. Sparrow and Newton from down the barber shop. We had Pat Lane, who's a carpenter. We had Tom Crone. We had everybody come in that's got a specialty that they're used to cooking. With that specialty that they're used to cooking, we had the opportunity to, instead of giving the men at the homeless shelter a hamburger and French fries, some nights they got grilled salmon with 3 sides. Some nights, Sky was the deal. My daughter came in here for 6 days in a row and baked some type of a dessert or sweet. So, it's a matter of a bunch of men coming together with the same goal of making somebody else's day different, that we were asked to partake. We did, and hopefully put a smile on a lot of people's faces.
Well, and it's partnership like that many people benefit from. Obviously, not just the receivers, but I'm sure you facilitated that, and everybody who's donating feels better about what they're trying to do in this weird time. So, well, Pee Wee, thanks for the great environment you set at the restaurant, all the community work you do, and best of luck as you get this thing open back up and keeping everybody safe and fed and watered, so to speak. So, thanks for everything you're doing.
Thank you, Kris, and a shout out to you and everybody down there at the county. I think Northern Kentucky is just a leader. It starts at the top, and thank you for that. But, if we do our job for what you tell us to do, everybody's going to be safe and we'll get through this. And, hopefully a year from now, we got a smile on our face and we talked about this in the past. But thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks, Pee Wee.